Alright. Okay. Oh my god, I get way too many. Georgie. Oops. Here. Hey, what's up? Almost my power close to the camera. I might get copyrighted. Oh, it's so cute. Alright, I'm gonna make a new character. Hold on, let me, yeah. What's that game I've never saw? Oh, it's Ponytown. DDF6 FF. Alright. Six. I feel like I'm making Deku now. Jesus. A F1 D1. I saw that little Shane Dawson, I pressed right away. Of course, I had to add Shane. Every live stream, I'm a show Shane, no matter what. What tail should I do? I don't want to do no tail, but... Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna do that. That one's cute. A face. Oh. No. I feel like I'm making a Five Nights at Freddy's now. Eyelash color. Oh, it's so cute. Yes, we need a beard. No. You know nothing about this. No, I'm gonna put on some music. You must be really bored. Don't you dare. Okay, a little something confusing went on. Alright, anyway. What are you making? I don't know.
All alone, I had chicken on the plate, but the food was cold. Then I covered up my face so that no one knows. I didn't want trouble. I'm the boy in the bubble. But then came trouble. When my mom walked into the living room, she said, boy, you gotta tell me what they did to you. I said, you don't wanna know the things I had to do. She said, son, you gotta tell me why you're black and blue. I said, I didn't want trouble. I'm the boy in the bubble. But then came trouble. And my heart was pumping, chest was screaming, mind was running, air was freezing. Put my hands up, I told this kid I'm ready for a fight. Punch my face, do it 'cause I like the pain. Every time you curse my name, I know you want the satisfaction, it's not gonna happen. Knock me out. Kick me when I'm on the ground. It's only gonna let you down. Come the lightning and the thunder, you're the one who suffer. Well, I squared him up, left my chest exposed. He threw a quick left hook and it broke my nose. I had thick red blood running down my clothes and a sick look, 'cause I like it though. I said I didn't want trouble. I'm the boy in the bubble. But then came trouble. And my heart was pumping, chest was screaming, mind was running, nose was bleeding. Put my hands up, I told this kid I'm ready for a fight. Punch my face, do it 'cause I like the pain.
I was playing Identity V this morning. It said that you have not played in 20 hours. 22. Jeez! I want 1,000 frames. Trot. Boop, boop. Alright. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. Lie. Fly. I'm gonna take away the the skirt and take away this. I want to trash. And the feet, I need to turn them back to white. There we go, we got Jupiter.
Every time you curse my name, I know you want the satisfaction. It's not gonna happen. Knock me out, kick me when I'm on the ground.
Okay,
It's only
yeah, it looks so much better now. Alright, we're gonna have a new one. Yes, a new one. Oh, it's dark in the outline. Alright. We are gonna, for the Christmas holiday, we're going to make a dang cute little, like bunny thing. Ooh, that's too white. There we go. Alright. Alright, I need like bunny ears. Oh, maybe I should do like, I have a few ideas. Give me a minute. Alright. How about brown? Brown? No. We need a Christmas theme. How about red? And then we go on to the back. We have green, light green. E1FFC. 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 Yeah, this is the color. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, maybe a deer, because they're most likely out into the winter. I need brown. Oh, no, not there. Brown. Brown. Alright, yeah. These can be white. And this brown. Oh yeah, that's also white. They have little click clackers. Don't ask, I like calling them click clackers. She is female, and I hate that it's like dark, so I'm gonna give her a white magic color. It is going to be red for Christmas. Ah, you got nugget wings. Alright, back wings are going to be very, very light green. Hello. Hey, bro. Hey, dude. Oh, jeez. Ooh, I kind of like this one. Whew. Her ponies are just, I have like way more. Like I have like a lot of ponies. I know, right? A masterpiece. Gordon Ramsay, a masterpiece. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know why, but I have like really bad allergies and I never have allergies. The socks are cute. I'm keeping the socks. I'm not gonna keep any of those. She's very, well, pink. Yeah, I like the boat, but we're gonna make it white. Hey guys, what should we name her? She's like a winter part. So what should we name her? Y'all get to choose. Boop, 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 sit. Oh, wait, hold on. I might have effed this up. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of effed it up. Anyway, I can only have... Oh my god, I have 11 ponies. I have a... Hold on, I'm gonna choose... Which one do I not like? This one. Anyway. Oh, it's so beautiful. How do these people get those winter ears? No. I mean those bunny ears. I told my friend to name his pig mistake. Oh. I'm gonna fly. Y'all are all crazy, bruh. Why is there a leash? Why? Just a Wait, that's a pony? Oh my god, that's amazing. I did not recognize any man. Five Nights at Motherfucking Freddy's. Oh my god. Hey, we're gonna do Five Nights at Freddy's, y'all. Alright. We need a new one. Of course. Our basic color was white. Light pink. She looks like she's wearing slippers. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. We need to see your fight. Alright, we need to make those like pink, and it's FDCFF. FD. FDC. FDCC. FD. FD. Oh, CFF, right? Yeah, it's CFF. Oh, it's lowercase f at the beginning. Come on. FDCFF. Why does it always do that? It's not yellow, it is light pink. Alright, there we go. Yay, the main. Oh no. If somebody makes a Viscal girl on here, I'm gonna cry. That would be like amazing. It's so funny. This one will be a little lighter. It's white, technically. Yeah. Wait, eyeshadow. Yes, we need some eyeshadow. Like, for some reason, I really like the red on her. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Oh, don't mind what I was watching. Wait, why am I searching that? Wait, my channel. Oh, I'm still live. Alright. Kind, shush. Oh, don't mind what I was watching. Wait, why am I searching that? I don't know why I'm watching my own stuff. Don't mind what I've downloaded. Where you get your skills. What was it? Oh yeah, Identity V. 5 versus 5. 5 versus 5. You will be invited. Hey, native's on. What is up, native? Oh. You can tell this is a little kid. My goodness. My nephew would name it Catboy. Seriously, he is obsessed with Catboy. You little. Oh hey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. I'm sorry, people. You will be invited. Oh, baby. Shut up. Oh, now they start moving. I need 2 spaces. So this is gonna have logged invitation. And got back to watching the body. No spoilers, dude. No spoilers, man. What is wrong? No spoilers. I know. The thing is sad. Oh, dude. No, don't tell me. It's a movie 10 out of 10. Oh, God. One spot left. That's definitely why. Oh, no. play right now. What? I'm live. I'm live streaming. It's YT. Oh, okay. But damn it. Damn, girl, you have to win. Oh shit, goddamn, no, I didn't want that joy. No, please. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big hunter. Hunter is great and all, but it's just not Reaper. Come on, Johnny. I'm sorry, I have to. Just get to what Johnny wants. Gee, that scared the crap out of me. I gotta dig it. Thank you. I for some reason I don't like when people are like the same. Oh, you the same avatar? Can I say my she? New York. No, so cute, puppy. Oh wait, this is Survivor. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Can I put? Yeah, you can. You can. Oh. Oh my god, no! Get out of here, guys! You camper! Now I'm out of here. Girl, I'm not surrendering. Come on. Come on, let's go, let's go. You got this. No, I do not. Apparently, I do not. I'm sorry. That was amazing, though. It's not letting me click anything. Why is it letting me? Oh, there we go. Bruh, I'm busy. Now my friends listen. But wait, I'm sorry, bro. This is my home, a bit shaggy. Alright. I'm sorry for my horrible singing. Hey, I'm the best one here because I have a circle around me. Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. Oh, great. Ooh, I hate these things. here. Wait, I'm a furry. I just call myself furry trash. I said get your ass out of here, boy. Wait, wasn't this game made in 2009? Sounds correct. Most likely the closest, so... Yes, I did it! Get your ass out of here, boy! I got my fans back like that, you know not! Get your furry trash out of here. Get your ass out. Get your furry trash out of here. Okay, so we'll be good, yeah. Get out of here! Stay away from my bro. We gotta get it. Come on, let's go. I'll hit him. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Come on, get out of here. Come on, let's go. No, girl. Get out of here. You dare her to explain. Come on, girl, shake, shake. Shake! I'm on my way. Come on, girl. Get your way. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Don't touch my girl. Well, you'll never catch me alive, you son of a gun. Alright, girl, give me that. Get out of here! Get out of here! Okay. No! No! I'm sorry! Come on, girl, you can do it. I just meant to happen back so you'll be able to run. Come on, go, 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 Get out of there. No! No, you need to get out of there. No stopping back. Go, 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 get out of there, run. Listen, come on, go, 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 go. Woo. Go, 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 go. Oh yeah, buddy. That's how we do it. Yeah. Alright. GG, it's Shane time. I said, alright, GG, it's Shane time. GG, it's Shane time. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Well, time. Oh man, I was only one away. I think I already have it. Yeah, I already did. It's showing time. I'm gonna say it again. It's showing time. Shane Dawson time, girl. It's Shane Dawson time, girl. It's Shane Dawson time, girl. Alright, it's Shane time. Oh, I'm sorry. That looks very weird for y'all. Oh, no. It's Shane Dawson time, girl. It's Shane Dawson. Oh. I'm sorry. He thinks I'm a girl. It's Shane time, girl. Alright. Where's Shane? I know I got Shane. Yeah. Why are these on there? Please. Yeah. It's Shane time. Why does it keep doing
Well, the trees are wetter than usual, so that's why they're not aftermath. A lot of people confused.
So the recent California fire.
Alright.
You thought you knew. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yes. Welcome back. Now, you might have noticed a few changes around here. We got a new intro and background, same shirt. But the main thing that is going to change with these conspiracy videos is I'm going to go even further. So if you are triggered by suicide, or murder, or possible abuse of children in Hollywood, then you might want to see this video. Now, today we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Some involving the secrets of Apple, some involving the possible World War. And we're even going to talk about Riverdale now. Some really disturbing Riverdale conspiracy theories. Alright, you guys, let's get into it. That's right, we're starting with Apple conspiracies. And you might have noticed another little thing I added. Before every conspiracy from now on, I'm going to put a little believability scale. 1 Illuminati sign means this shit's stupid. But 5 Illuminati signs means this isn't even a theory. This is a fact. And that's exactly what this first one is. So we have been talking about Apple purposely slowing down our phones every time they have a new one coming out forever. And then recently we learned that it's true.
Today's Tech Bites, Apple admits to slowing down older iPhones.
So Apple says it slows down the processors on older iPhones to prevent battery issues that could cause the phones to suddenly shut down or restart.
Now, over the years, there's been tons of studies about this. Every time a new iPhone comes out, the Google search results for "why is my iPhone slowing down" skyrocket. Well, people started going from theorizing to actually pursuing lawsuits against Apple. And because of all these lawsuits, Apple finally admitted what we knew all along. As lithium batteries age, they get weaker. So we had to slow the phone to avoid the phones crashing to compensate for the naturally deteriorating battery. Or in other words, we purposely slow down your phones, you fucking idiots. And the only reason they admitted this was because they were getting sued. And it makes you wonder, what else are they hiding? I mean, think about it. Apple owns us. They have our private photos, our voice memos, our fingerprints, our face scans. And they claim that they keep it all private, but they also claim that they didn't slow down our phones, so... Life imitating art. We've seen it over and over again. Donald Trump being the president on The Simpsons, and then Donald Trump being president in real life. A statue in the 1600s, and then Lindsay Lohan passed out in 2007 outside a club. And then of course a crazy one, Walter White on Breaking Bad. And then right after the show premiered, there was a real Walter White, who got caught building a massive meth empire in Alabama. And then sometimes there's ones that are too dark to even think about. But I said we were gonna go there, so let's go. Now back in 2000, there's a real Walter White, who got... Now back in 2008, a woman named Jodi Arias murdered her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander.
Travis Alexander never had a chance.
And she did this by stabbing him 29 times, slitting his throat, and then shooting him in the head. Now the craziest part about this murder is she was taking pictures while she was doing it. Now Alexander was in the shower, and Jodi walked into the bathroom holding a digital camera. Well, then she opened up the shower door and started taking pictures of him. Now she said it was just for fun.
I was like, I just have an idea. I saw this thing in a Calvin Klein ad once that looked really good.
And this is the darkest part. Here's the picture she took right as she pulled out the knife. And this is the last picture of him alive. That picture is so terrifying to me. The look on his face, the subtlety of it, fear, confusion, it's just awful.
The one that you showed me yesterday of him looking right at you, I think that's a great picture.
Well, the next picture after that is him on the floor after he has just been stabbed. Now you're probably wondering, Shane, what does this have to do with life imitating art? Well, when all of these pictures came out, people started noticing that it looked familiar. Now I'm sure you guys remember the famous scene from the movie Psycho, where the main character got stabbed to death in her shower. Well, then people started taking the famous shots from that scene, putting them next to the last pictures of Travis, and they are eerily identical. And I don't think it was premeditated. I don't think Jodi went into that saying, oh, I want to remake Psycho. I think the universe has a way of connecting things like that. They say directors have a vision. Well, what if Alfred Hitchcock did have a vision? And in his vision, he saw this scene happening, so he recreated it in his movie. But what if that vision was of Travis? What if the universe put that in his head? What if that's what happened with The Simpsons? Or with Breaking Bad? It makes you think, what if everything is planned out and everything is connected? And what if we can look at art and try to predict what's going to happen in the future? I mean, if there's a movie called World War III, life will definitely imitate that, and probably soon. Now, we've talked about news channels faking things for a long time. They've been caught setting up a crime scene and filming in front of it, even though it didn't exist.
As many as 4 bodies may be buried here.
It can get really fucked up really fast. On June 4th, CNN got accused of staging an anti-ISIS protest in London. Now, this is a behind-the-scenes clip, and it's insane. So first you see them setting up the shot of the protest. Then you see the producers putting all of the protesters in their place. And then you see the producers laying down flowers in front of the protesters' feet and putting flowers in their hands. And then moments later, you see what it looks like on the actual news.
What I want to show you now, viewers, is a wonderful scene. There are flowers on the street here, ladies with #TurnToLove.
Yeah, they literally act like, oh, here we are, we just caught a protest. We saw them placing people. We saw them handing them signs, putting flowers at their feet. Now, of course, CNN came out and said, no, it was not fake. We just set up a shot and we had some of the protesters from over there come over here. And maybe that's true, but it's hard to believe the news sometimes when they do things like this.
Good morning. Well, obviously we're getting a nice...
This year, that slippery Saint Nick won't expect that I'm finally catching Santa Claus tonight.
Buy a Google Pixel 4 phone and get a Nest Hub on us.
Break from the rain, but not the flooding. This is essentially now a part of the Passaic River in this neighborhood.
Yeah, she was in a fucking canoe. Just to scare everybody. Oh my god, the water's so high, we're in canoes! But one of my favorite moments of the news getting caught faking something happened with Nancy Grace. Now in this clip, Nancy Grace is doing a satellite interview with another reporter. Huh. Kinda looks similar, right?
I want you to pay attention to the red truck and the bus. Red truck, bus, bus.
Nancy Grace and the woman she's having a satellite interview with is in the same parking lot.
You see this red SUV drive behind Ashley Banfield and then immediately behind Nancy Grace.
And not just the same parking lot. 3 parking spots away from each other. What? Why did they do a satellite interview? Why are they faking that? I mean, that one's insane. But the biggest scandal of all time when it comes to faking the news is this clip. Back in 1990, a CNN reporter named Charles Jacko was covering the Persian Gulf War. Now, he's supposedly in Saudi Arabia outside of a hotel. Well, then an angry staff member at CNN leaked this clip years later.
Let me say hi. Geopolitics by Dan Quayle.
I know what you're thinking, well, maybe they're just having fun. But then he starts playing with what looks to be a prop of a missile.
This is a Scud. Now, when you detect this, you can tell it's been launched. Thank you.
I know. Like, what? Well, then he starts playing with his emergency mask.
Let me just size my mask and fit it for a second, just like I always do.
It seems kind of like a set, right? There's no wind. When the camera pans over, you see some wood. It almost looks like a fake wall. Well, but then you see what it looks like when he's reporting live.
Because of military regulations, we are not allowed to show you where the missiles might be going.
Wow, that's different. He's panicking, holding his earpiece. Well, remember earlier in the clip when he was asking whether or not he should test out that face mask? You're about to find out why.
CD, if you need to take cover, I notice that you've got your gas mask in your hands. If you need to put it on, please do so. If you need to take cover.
Like say...
I mean, come on. Now you're probably wondering, what did that man say when this clip started to go viral? Well, he sent an email to the person that posted the clip, and he said this. Our coverage was on the roof of a hotel. The plywood background was erected as a guard against the sand and windstorms. And the clowning around in the video is just that. We use black humor to deflect the tension of covering Scud missile assaults. And then he showed some pictures of what the actual hotel in Saudi Arabia looks like. And it looks pretty similar. You have the blue walls, you have the palm trees, you can even see the plywood that they set up to guard from the winds. And as much as I hate to say this because you know how much I love a conspiracy, I believe him. I mean, all the proof is there. It was years ago. Why would he still lie about it? But man, oh, that clip was weird. Side note, that's something I want to start incorporating more into these videos too. If I find out that a theory I've talked about has been debunked, I want to bring it up because I think people should be looking deeper and deeper into them. And not just thinking everything is true, because some of these theories end up being bullshit.
Boy, did I almost look stupid.
I know what you're thinking. Shane, how are there conspiracy theories about wildfires? I had the same question. Then I fell down the hole on the internet and oh my god. So as you already know, there have been so many fires spreading through California the last few months. And some of the footage is insane. Right off the freeway, an entire mountain filled with flames. Celebrities' houses getting evacuated.
Thank God for this event this morning because I got up at 5:30 and everyone came to the house and they're like, we need to leave.
And the fires are incredibly spread out, but some of the footage of the aftermath had a lot of people confused.
So the recent California fires are very strange and suspect. In drone footage of the aftermath, we see houses completely obliterated and turned to ash while the surrounding landscapes and trees are totally fine.
That's right. If you look at some of this footage, all of the houses are completely leveled, but then all the trees in the neighborhood are fine.
You'll notice here that stores and restaurants are wiped out while other things are still in perfect shape.
Well, then I looked into it. A couple scientists came out and said, well, the trees are wetter than usual, so that's why they're not that flammable. But then I did a quick Google and I found a lot of videos of neighborhood trees burning down to nothing. Now, one of the craziest clips I think I've ever seen is a clip of a tree that a guy found that was burning from the inside out.
A haunting but mesmerizing scene from the wildfires in Sonoma County. A man came across this tree burning from the inside out.
Now, that situation doesn't happen in a forest fire. The only time trees really burn like that is when they're struck by lightning. I know, that was intense. But this is what the trees look like right after that. Yeah, they look exactly like the tree that supposedly caught fire during one of the wildfires. So you're probably thinking, Shane, where is this going? One word: lasers.
Laser.
Okay, hear me out. I know this sounds crazy, and I 100% thought it was bullshit until I really started looking into it. Now, the theory is that the government might have been testing out some direct weapons. Now, these weapons would be in the form of lasers, and the damage they would cause would be way worse than any fire could do. Imagine if the government did figure out how to do laser weapons, what kind of damage they could do to their enemies.
Here's a laser at a power of 1 watt.
A 1 watt laser can light a match. Imagine then the power of a 500 trillion watt laser. That's exactly what they've built here at the National Ignition Facility in California.
Yeah, that's right. They literally are building that giant laser in California. Now, this is the craziest part. In a movie back in the 80s called RoboCop, this happened.
Top story, Santa Barbara. 10,000 acres of wooded residential land were scorched in an instant when a laser cannon aboard the Strategic Defense Peace Platform misfired today during routine startup tests.
Literally, laser weapons hit the same exact locations that the California wildfires are. And here's the thing that's even crazier. When a fire burns down a house, it still leaves some of the house. Yeah, it's black and yeah, it's all fucked up, but there's a little bit of structure still there. But when you look at the aftermath of these California wildfires, there is nothing. Not just houses have been leveled down to the ground, but even cars. Glass and metal have been melted. So how could glass and metal in these cars be melted? How could these houses be leveled down to nothing? Lasers. Now, remember earlier when I showed you that clip of the tree that was burning from the inside out? Now, supposedly that happened from the wildfires, but it looked more like it happened from getting struck by lightning. And what did that clip look like? Lasers! There's even tons of clips of people saying that their own house lit on fire, but nothing around them did.
There was no other fire around us. It just caught some of the shrub, I guess embers, I'm not sure.
And to this day, we still don't know the true reason why all of these fires so far apart from each other happened. Yeah, they're saying the high winds and the dry land, but these specific fires were some of the biggest fires in history. And this is the final thing I heard that made me think maybe this isn't complete bullshit. Now, Trump is all about winning. If we go into a war, he wants to conquer it.
I'm really good at war. I love war in a certain way.
If we have a big weapon, he probably wants to make it bigger.
Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
So if he found out that the government did have the capability of laser weapons, and he knew that North Korea is really wanting us dead right now, then why wouldn't he want to do a test and see how the lasers worked?
I want to be unpredictable.
But obviously he can't test it on another country because then that would start a war. And what place in his own country does he hate more than anywhere else? Los Angeles.
Some celebs are just not a fan of the Donald.
He despises the people in Hollywood. He despises celebrities because they all talk shit about him.
He loves tweeting about KFC and beautiful chocolate cake and put them all together and this is what you get.
So why wouldn't he press that button and say, you know what, fuck it, let's blow up LA?
It's lasers!
Because if you remember, some of the most affected people by these fires were celebrities.
Comedian Chelsea Handler tweeted, "Just evacuated my house. It's like Donald Trump is setting the world on fire."
So not only did Trump get to test out these laser weapons, but he got to get some revenge on some of his Hollywood enemies.
I'm about to rock this place down.
Now listen, I know that all sounds very crazy, but let's not forget about life imitating art.
10,000 acres of wooded residential land were scorched in an instant when a laser cannon misfired today during routine startup tests.
So there has been some pretty dark rumors about some people in charge over at Nickelodeon for a while. And recently, a thread on Twitter started to go viral. Now, besides the fact that there are some pretty sexual and creepy images in some of these Nickelodeon shows, there's also some very creepy jokes that probably shouldn't be in a kid's show.
One time, my brother found a vacuum cleaner in our church basement. He took it home, and now he keeps it in his room. Well, you should call the church and tell him he has it. Oh, they wouldn't want it back.
Yeah, she's referring to a young boy using a vacuum to suck his dick on a kid show. Now, they also call out that the word hobknocker is used in iCarly.
Oh yeah, do you guys remember Wade Collins? That obnoxious hobknocker from America Sings?
Well, here's the definition of hobknocker. When a guy hits you in the face with his penis.
One might call him obnoxious. Oh, Carly. Anyway.
And then the thread goes on to show some more creepy visuals. I mean, this one is,
I'm thirsty.
And then we get to the foot fetish.
Dang, dude. That's some soft footage.
Oh, that's what I said.
I mean, really. Let's be serious here. That's a nice foot.
Right? I know.
Now, if you're a fan of some of these shows, you might remember that there's a lot of feet involved. In iCarly, you see one of the characters getting her foot rubbed. In Victorious, you see Ariana Grande literally trying to suck her own toes. And there's so many creepy foot moments in these shows. I mean, going to squirt ketchup on them, Miranda Cosgrove staring at them, two young girls putting their feet up to the camera. There's even a behind-the-scenes picture of Ariana standing next to a foot, pointing at it, and then on the official Sam and Cat Twitter, it said this: Sam and Cat tomorrow, right on the bottom of your foot, take a pic and use hashtag Sam and Cat Saturday. We'll retweet and follow until our fingers get sore. And a lot of kids did. All of these children wrote on their feet, took pictures of them, and posted them on Twitter. And then, of course, there's other moments in the show that look even more graphic. And then this.
Come on! Give up the juice!
I think the foot thing is what weirds me out the most, because foot fetishes are a huge deal, and having kids show their feet and talk about it that much is fucking weird. And then, of course, there's little things, like if you look in the background of the episodes, you might see a hidden penis on a wall. I mean, it's not that big of a surprise that kids' TV shows might do some evil stuff. I mean, the fact that Disney approved a quarter ride that looked like this, it just proves that there might be some evil people in charge of kids' entertainment. And maybe they're trying to get in the minds of kids and make them evil. I mean, think about it. Who's the biggest kids' entertainer right now? And would you say he's doing some pretty evil stuff?
You found a dead body.
Alright, so this is something new I wanted to start doing with these videos. With some of our conspiracies about TV shows and movies, I want to start interviewing people that are actually in them. So today we're going to be talking about some pretty disturbing Riverdale conspiracies with the star herself.
Yes. Do I get to pick?
Of course you do.
Okay, great. My hair looks like shit. Let's do it.
Okay guys, I am here with Madeline from Riverdale. Before we get into the conspiracies, because there's a lot of them about this show, I want to know about your life, because overnight you kind of skyrocketed, right?
Yeah, probably I would say a little over a year ago I had 40,000 followers on Instagram, and then I'm at like 4 something now, which is insane.
4 million.
In like 9 months.
Did the TV network make you do any like training or any classes, like this get ready for the
Fame?
internet? Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do media training, which was like intensive, like, what? This is so weird. We had to learn how to get out of a car without flashing.
What?
So there's like a very specific way where you like you cover yourself at the door of the car, and then you get out with the opposite leg, so that like your leg isn't like open, essentially.
There's a class for that?
Yeah, and you have to pass. Like, you have to do it until you like you don't flash. It's a thing.
Is there a way to get out of a car without looking fat? Because I need that. Okay, Riverdale. It is surprisingly dark for a teen show.
Yeah.
But some of the conspiracy theories about this show go even darker than murder. And I want to talk about that.
I don't know what your conspiracy theories are, so now I'm like nervous.
Okay, so your character, Cheryl Blossom, has a brother named Jason.
I don't want to talk about this. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Now, he died in the first season. That's kind of what the whole first season is about. But there are a lot of theories that Cheryl and Jason might have been more than brothers and maybe lovers.
Yeah, that theory has been debunked by myself.
Well, have you seen all of the proof?
Proof?
So a video made by a YouTuber named Smurf Vlogs started going viral, and some of the evidence is pretty crazy.
Damn, I should have made that video first.
Okay, so the first time that we see your guys' characters is in a car.
Tell me I'm your baby.
And the song says, "Tell me I'm your baby, tell me you'll never leave me, tell me that you'll kiss me."
That you'll kiss me.
Are you scared, Jason? It's just a creepy song. That's why we played it.
But you guys are driving in the car together for the first time.
And we do hold hands when we walk down the river.
Jason and Cheryl Blossom drove out to Sweetwater River for an early morning boat ride.
I know. Do you want to know why?
Yes.
I can give you. Is it going to be interesting for your video if I tell you why, or do you want to keep it just like?
Well, there's a lot more than that, though. I mean,
Give me the rest of it, and then
okay, you call him your soulmate.
Right.
You guys share a milkshake together.
Correct.
And there's just a lot of creepy imagery of you guys looking at each other sensually, like you love each other, but way more than I've ever loved a sibling. And it definitely, from an outside perspective, feels creepy, incesty.
Well, we kind of got into that a little bit more in the second season, that it's more so about that Cheryl's actually abused by her parents. So he's kind of like her saving grace, and he's always been the only person who ever showed her love. So it's more about the fact that she's never been loved by anybody else, including her parents. But I get that it looks like that, and ultimately it was created to like look weird.
So you don't think it's ever going to come back?
I think anything's possible in Riverdale is definitely the soundbite that I use a lot, because like literally anything is possible in Riverdale.
The last time I saw Jason, I was wearing this dress.
Okay. I talk about a lot of movie posters looking.
What do you mean? Have you ever watched? Yeah, I've watched some episodes of Riverdale. They're not bad.
Very similar. TV posters.
It Follows. Is that what you're
Yes!
talking about? I thought the same thing.
It's the same
No, I
exact
thought the same
poster.
thing. When I saw the poster, I was like, it looks like It Follows. And I'll be honest, our director, Lee Krieger, showed us a reel of all these different moods that he liked from different movies, and It Follows was one of the biggest moods that he was obsessed with. So it could have just been inspired by that.
It Follows was kind of one of the inspirations for the vibe of Riverdale. So that theory's right. So that poster is inspired by it.
Totally. I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, there's another thing that people have been sending me about Riverdale. And I got confused even reading it myself, and I don't know if you've seen it. Okay, so it says, when I realized that Polly and Jason are in the same class, but Cheryl is Jason's twin sister, and Cheryl is in the same class as Betty, but Polly is older than Betty.
Interesting.
What does that mean?
What?
Wait, is that like a thing?
Anything's possible in Riverdale.
Well, there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed the return of my conspiracy theory videos. I'm really excited to go deeper and
I don't want to be on TV. I want to be on Fox. Fox is how we do church. No crying at Fox.
Bombshell, December 20th.
Guys, guess what? You guys enjoy it? You guys enjoy it?
I had a great time.
Check it out. Bye. Shows, the Illuminati, and even whether or not mermaids exist. So let's start with TV shows. Now there's probably theories about all of your favorite shows. I mean, we've talked about hidden symbols inside of cartoons. We've talked about subliminal messaging in kid shows. And we've even talked about the overall theory that TV was made to distract us from what was really going on. But sometimes you hear a theory that's so mind-blowing, you literally have to stop what you're doing and just process it for like an hour. And that brings us to our first theory, which is about the show Friends. So obviously Friends is one of the most popular shows of all time. I've seen every single episode literally 100 times. And recently everyone was talking about this theory online and it went super viral. Now what sparked this theory was this picture. Check it out. Now as you can see, this is the DVD box set of the 4th season of Friends. Do you notice anything weird about it? That's right. When you really look at it, you notice that Rachel is the only one looking at the camera while everyone else is asleep. Now there's a lot of theories about why she's the only one looking at the camera.
His tone makes him sound so real.
Some of them are that this entire show was just a dream. And the reason she's looking at the camera is because the whole show has been from her POV and everyone else is just asleep. Now obviously that's dumb and I don't believe that. But then I started looking into it and there's been some very intense, scary theories about Friends that I did not know existed. And the scariest one is that this entire world of Friends is all inside of Phoebe's head. Yes, Phoebe. My favorite character mainly because she's the craziest. I mean, her mom killed herself, she lived on the street when she was a kid, she probably believed in conspiracy theories. I mean, she was just as crazy as me. So the theory is that maybe Phoebe never got her life together. Maybe she stayed living on the streets. Maybe she continued to do drugs. In an earlier episode, she talked about sleeping outside of the coffee shop when she was a kid. Well, what if she stayed there? What if she had been living on the streets outside of the coffee shop her entire life? And what if she laid there and stared inside of the Central Perk window and created an entire world inside of her head? What if she saw 5 cool, interesting people sitting on a couch and wished that she was a part of their crew? What if she saw them having conversations in that coffee shop and closed her eyes and put herself in there with them? Because when you think about it, Phoebe never really fit with the rest of the gang. She was the weird one. She was saying crazy things. They were always looking at her like she was on another planet. And what if she was? What if she was always outside, daydreaming about what it would be like to have friends? That one is so creepy to me because it makes sense. Well, this theory started to go viral and the person who created it said this. What if the series ended with the friends walking past Phoebe on the street and referring to her as the crazy lady who always stares at us? And then Phoebe would open her eyes and look up at them and imagine herself walking with them. Now, the co-creator of the show Friends, Marta Kaufman, heard about this rumor and she said this. "That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. No, I never heard that. That's a terrible theory. That's insane." Now, she did say it was fascinating that somebody came up with this, but she said it was not real. But I dare you to go back to watching Friends now and try not to think about it. Now, there's some theories about shows that are too dark to even talk about. I mean, a lot of you guys want me to talk about 13 Reasons Why conspiracies, and I don't even want to, go there. I mean, there is a really dark theory that that show was created to put the idea of suicide into young people's minds, which is so fucking dark, and I definitely hope that's not real, and I definitely don't believe that, but that is a theory. But maybe at some point I'll do a whole video devoted to that, but it's just dark. But moving away from the darker stuff, this next thing isn't even a theory, it's real, and it fucking blew my mind. Now, one of my favorite shows every year is RuPaul's Drag Race. So this show is about a bunch of drag queens that are competing against each other to win the title. And the grand finale is always super epic and super big, and it's taped in front of a live audience. But then the moment happens where somebody wins, and it feels weird. It almost doesn't feel exciting and kind of feels fake. Like nobody really cries, nobody's screaming in excitement, they're all just kind of smiling and then the show's over. Well, the reason why that happens is because the ending is fake. So at the end of the finale, in front of the live audience, they film 3 different endings. That's right, they literally film a fake win for all 3 drag queens. Now the reason they do that is because they don't want the people in the audience to leak the information online. So at the live taping of the grand finale, nobody wins. The drag queens find out if they won or not the same time we do. So they basically take one of the wins and they edit it in, and that's the person who won. So here's a clip of the final 3 drag queens of season 7 watching the moment that Violet Chachki won.
America's next drag superstar is Violet Chachki.
Yes! Yes! This is so realistic. I wish I could back in time. I know, fucking weird, right? Like when you watch the show and she wins and they put the crown on her and she's all excited, but it's not real. And can you imagine how mentally and emotionally fucked up that is? Like to have to pretend to win? Well, now that you know that, go back and watch the endings of the finales. It's so fucking weird. Like it just feels really uncomfortable and like awkward, but it makes you think, if that's fake, then what else is fake on TV? Literally probably everything. Okay, so that was a fun theory, but we're gonna move on to something not fun. We're gonna be talking about the recent death of a rapper named Prodigy. Now, Prodigy's real name was Albert Johnson, and he was a part of the rap duo Mobb Deep. He died on June 20th of this year, and the reason for death was a little confusing, but I'll get into that in a moment. First, let's talk about what Prodigy was most passionate about, spreading the word about the Illuminati.
1995 was the first time I ever heard about the Illuminati.
Now, he talked about the Illuminati in pretty much every interview he did, and he would go very in-depth.
It's a group that was formed like in the 1700s, something like that, 1600s. This dude named Adam Weishaupt. He started this group of people, like powerful, rich people that basically could shape popular opinion. And
pretty much everybody that's popular are assumed to be in the Illuminati. I mean, Beyonce even referenced it in one of her songs.
Y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess.
Now, clearly she's referencing it as a joke, or is she just putting it out there, being like, I'm not in it, but really she's covering it up. Well, Prodigy believes that she's not in it, and here's why.
I seriously doubt that he's down with this elite group of people that run shit like come on, Jay-Z's a fucking crumb compared to these like, you fucking how much money that got. They want some real shit. That's how powerful these people are, dogs. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's pretty crazy to hear him talking about these things so openly. Like, I found tons of interviews of him just openly talking about his thoughts on it, his fears about it, and he knew so much.
Basically, what we talking about right now is the Illuminati, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you what it means to me. The name Illuminati means that the enlightened ones. You know something that somebody else doesn't know. Mostly their agenda is population control, mind control. You're being manipulated. We all being manipulated, you know what I'm saying?
Now, this year Prodigy was working on a musical called The Illuminati Ball. One of his co-workers said this: the one thing we were planning on doing was a musical about the Illuminati, and how the obsession with the Illuminati infiltrated people's opinions of hip-hop. While he was working on creating the Illuminati Ball, Prodigy died. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing. Now, Prodigy was sick for years. He had chronic sickle cell anemia, and he had been battling it for decades. Well, he was in the hospital getting treatment for it, and he died. And most people assume he died because...
Girl, no matter what you say, you are my friend. I don't care if we don't know each other in real life, we are friends. So yeah, love you.
Because of the illness, but after the autopsy came out, we found out that's not true. Now, once again, this is a theory. Nothing has been completely confirmed. I'm not trying to get sued. But a very viable source claims that the autopsy will say he died of accidental asphyxiation, which means that there was something lodged in his windpipe that caused him to choke to death. Now, TMZ claims that he choked on an egg, but the family will not confirm or deny that. Now, it's going to take several months for the autopsy to happen and for us to find out the truth, but it is kind of scary that he literally was writing and creating the Illuminati Ball, and then he dies in the hospital of choking on an egg. And this isn't the first time that theorists have claimed that the Illuminati has killed somebody for talking too much. I mean, there's theories that Tupac and Michael Jackson both were killed because they knew too much and they wanted out. Now, there's a video out there that started going viral, and I'm not going to claim whether or not I think it's real, but it definitely is creepy. This is a video of a man who claims to have worked for the government and who knows all of the secrets.
I am showing my face, and I will reveal my name for my own protection. So if something were to happen to me, you know it was not an accident.
I know. The whole tone of this video is very disturbing. Just keep watching.
My name is Robert Connors, and I have served with the Department of Defense for over 20 years. In March of 1990, it's
more specific and brings up artists' names.
From the first-degree murder of Lassane Parish Crooks, also known as Tupac Shakur, to the evidence of influence of entities well beyond this federal government, beyond this world, will be revealed in these tapes.
Now he also plays a portion of a phone call that supposedly happened the night before Michael Jackson died. Now once again, this might be fake, I'm not saying it's real, but either way, it is very disturbing.
What's wrong, Michael? I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people. They want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore. Who could do this? It's not the government. It's more than the government.
Now we've talked about Michael Jackson's death before and the fact that there's a lot of holes in the story. I mean, even his own daughter Paris, who I personally know, so I feel okay talking about this, even she has brought it up. She says there's way more to this story than anybody knows, and that there's a lot of different hands involved. Now, I don't know if she's referencing the Illuminati or anything like that, but even if this video and that phone call aren't real, I don't think it's too far from the truth. And hopefully in a few months, when we find out how Prodigy actually died from the autopsy, we'll get some more truth. Okay, now let's talk about something I saw in my email that kind of blew my mind. A viewer named Chris Rodriguez sent me this, and it was a screenshot from the movie John Tucker Must Die. Now this movie was in 2006, okay? Just remember that. Now here is a picture from the movie. Tell me if you notice anything weird. Yeah, the guy is wearing cordless white iPhone headphones in his ears. And this is in 2006. Those did not exist. So how did he have cordless headphones in 2006? I don't know. Now we've talked about this a lot before. I love photos like this. Like there's that really old picture of some guy in the back of like a silent movie holding what looks like a cell phone. I mean, there's tons of pictures out there that have suggested that maybe time travel exists. But I never thought I'd see. Like there's that really old picture of some guy in the back of like a silent movie holding what looks like a cell phone. I mean, there's tons of pictures out there that have suggested that maybe time travel exists. But I never thought I'd see it in John Tucker Must Die. Alright, now this last theory we're going to talk about sounds fun, but the more you think about it, the creepier it is. And that is the theory that mermaids exist. Now mermaids have been in pop culture forever. I mean, they've been in TV shows and Disney movies, but they've been around for even longer than that. I mean, there's literally cave drawings of what look like mermaids. Now, the theory that they might exist really blew up because of a documentary that came out on the Animal Planet. Now, this documentary was called Mermaids, The Body Found. Here's a clip from that documentary. So obviously that is not real, and people for some reason thought it was. This was a mockumentary, which means a fake documentary, but it definitely made people start thinking, what if they do exist? And there's been tons of proof throughout the years that they might. I mean, here's a picture that somebody took where you can see what looks like a mermaid on a rock. Now that probably is fake, but still, I mean, it looks pretty good. Then you have this famous picture of a man standing next to what looks like a huge mermaid skeleton. And this creepy picture that looks like the body of a mermaid that washed up on shore. I mean, there's even a video that people claim is a bunch of mermaids swimming together. Check it out. Now, the person who originally uploaded that video called it dolphins swimming, so they didn't actually think it was mermaids. But honestly, when I saw it, I was like, those are fucking mermaids. I mean, the arms moving, the fin. I don't know. Now, once again, all of that evidence might be fake. But let's talk about the facts. And the fact is that 70% of the Earth is water. And we've literally only researched and seen 5% of it. That's right, 95% of the ocean in the world has been unexplored. So that means there's probably so much that we don't know about, so many sea creatures that we can't even comprehend. I mean, imagine going so far under the water that you're like in complete blackness. No human could breathe down there. No fucking fish could breathe down there. The only thing that could stay alive down there is what would probably look like a fucking monster. And we'll never know because we can't dive that deep to find it. So the idea of mermaids existing might not be so crazy. I mean, there's been plenty of conspiracy theories about the ocean. I mean, people believe in the Loch Ness Monster, people believe in La Llorona, and some people even believe that there's an entire world under the water where a bunch of underwater people live. Well, there's a YouTuber named Kendall Ray. And some people even believe that there's an entire world under the water where a bunch of underwater people live. Well, there's a YouTuber named Kendall Ray who made a whole video about the theory of mermaids that I found very interesting. So she's a YouTuber that does a lot of conspiracy theory videos similar to mine, and she does a lot of creepy videos. So I thought I would interview her about her thoughts on whether or not mermaids exist. Okay guys, I am here with Kendall Ray. We are going to be talking about some mermaids.
Yes, mermaids.
Okay, so I was watching one of your videos and you were talking about something called the aquatic ape theory. Can you explain what that is?
It's like in evolution, a type of monkey or some monkeys on one part of the globe had an environment that was mainly water because, as we know, over time, the earth changed a ton and the elements could have been completely different.
Right.
So it basically thinks that we have an aquatic phase and that certain groups of monkeys, future humans, had to adapt to this way of life, had to adapt for survival.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, if you think about it, if monkeys were raised, I guess, in the wilderness, they had to like evolve to that, which is what we are today, right. Hunters and stuff. But if they were raised in the water, then they would over time get scales and get fins and learn how to stay underwater for a long time. So if there's still monkeys around, then there might still be mermaids. Mermonkeys.
Right? Yes, there could be mermaids, yes.
Well, in your video, you also talked about famous people through history that have mentioned seeing mermaids or believing in mermaids. Do you remember a few of those?
Yeah, Christopher Columbus wrote about mermaids in his journal, and he wrote about a mermaid that he saw having like green hair and this beautiful woman. Also, I mean, Shakespeare talked about mermaids in his plays. Who else? John Smith, Pocahontas John Smith.
Right.
Yeah, he said that he saw mermaids.
So then do you personally, as a conspiracy theorist, believe that mermaids exist?
No. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. To be honest, it's probably one of the ones I believe in the least.
Right.
But I mean, there's some good evidence. Like the hairless thing is a huge thing because that just makes us be able to streamline better through water. We're like clearly built for it. You look at dolphins and whales and they have the same type of texture around us. And then we're like really fat too. Like humans in general just have a ton of fat from birth. And that's, you know, to keep us warm, to help you float. And like with babies, when you throw them into the water, like newborn babies, they swim like right away. It's really weird.
Wait, what?
Like newborn babies right out of the womb. When you think about it, they're in water when they're in their mom.
Oh.
And they come out, and in some cultures, they straight just throw them in the water and hope that they can swim. And they do. There's like, look it up. There are videos of babies just swimming, and they're happy.
Oh my god, insert footage here.
Good job.
Okay, and then the fact that we have a spine that's flexible, so we can we can create similar movements. That's why when we do like the butterfly stroke has that same,
I mean, you're just convincing me more that they exist.
Yeah, more than wrinkly skin. You know how when you're in the water and your fingers like wrinkle up like raisins? They have actually done studies on that and found that it's easier to pick something up underwater if your hands are like that.
So what you're saying is if they do exist, mermaids are probably creepy, ape-looking, wrinkly old babies.
Definitely could be. 100% could be.
Well, thank you for that evidence and for convincing me even more that mermaids exist. Well, guys, if you want to see more of her conspiracy theory videos and other creepy videos she does, go to her channel, subscribe, check it out, send some love. Kendall Ray, thank you for conspiring with me.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Well, there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed all the conspiracy theories today. If you want me to do more conspiracy theory videos, give me a thumbs up so I know. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel right down below. And other creators.
Alright, I'm gonna end it there. I'm sorry. I know. I'll live stream tomorrow or like earlier this evening when it's late. Alright. Peace.